And again in Katsina State, bandits stormed a village in Duba in Bastari local government area late on Saturday, killing 12 people. According to sources, the bandits, numbering over 300, armed with sophisticated weapons, stormed the community at about 10:45 p.m. The bandits were said to have ransacked and looted houses and shops in the community, disposing people of their personal belongings, including foodstuff and money. Residents claim that the bandits killed 20 persons and injured many others. The spokesperson for the Katsina Police Commander, SP Gambo Isa, however, insisted that the bandits killed 12 people while 6 others sustained injuries.
Okay, well, for more on these developments, let's turn to Dr. KABIRU, ADAMU, a security and defense expert who is the CEO of Beacon Consulting. You want to fire the first salvo?
Yes, we need to have these conversations. KABIRU, thank you so much. And of course, almost every other day, there's one report of kidnappings or banditry and all of that. Just even in Katsina State, about 9 pupils of an Islamic school were actually kidnapped by, motorcycle riders. Let's not forget the Tegina incident. We're even having a conversation about the Baptist students. But the fact that we're seeing these soft targets, children, being targeted all across northern Nigeria, how should we be handling this right now to ensure that we don't lose the future generation?
Left to me, we should declare something close to an emergency. Within the last week, I was part of a panel that discussed kidnapping and education, especially the consequence of targeting of schools by these kidnappers. And it was very clear that the trajectory spells doom for our country. From what was a figure of around less than 20, we're seeing figures of almost 1,000 plus before even the end of the year, in a year of such kidnappings targeting schools. So clearly, these groups have made the targeting of schools their MO. They've seen that it's a low risk and a high profit venture, unfortunately. And so the future of education in Nigeria, unfortunately, is in peril.
KABIRU, my major concern here is that we've seen some successes recorded by the military. I mean, the Air Force, the Army, and, part of the Navy, in special operations and the rest. But as a security expert, would you really say that the nation's security architecture, the roadmap launched by the president last year, is it really working?
Christian, even if I spent 1 hour talking on this topic, unfortunately, I won't be able to exhaust it. But let me quickly put some of the major issues in context. Now, my consultancy, the database that we use for analyzing security incidents, shows that there is a 39% reduction in security incidents across the country between the months of June and July. So clearly, some things are being done correctly. And in the words of the National Security Advisor, he identified this things, increase in interdiction attacks, targeting the basis of these bandits in particular and the terrorist groups. Then he also talked about the improved synergy and cooperation between the various security agencies. He also talked about cooperation, especially in the sharing of intelligence between Nigeria and our neighboring countries. But for us, especially in the industrial security component, we deal with the people, we hear their complaints, we see their complaints. There are other issues, and that is why we released a report last week saying that the federal government and the state government need to enhance coordination. And I'll quickly mention the areas that they need to enhance coordination that will help to reduce the drivers, and I emphasize the word, the drivers of insecurity. Number 1 is socioeconomic grievances. Number 2, unemployment and the various economic issues that are affecting the country. Then weapons proliferation, our porous borders, issues around land use, and unfortunately, the policies on land use that are driving the socioeconomic grievances, climate change, ecological issues around the degradation of the environment and inability to control distance, and several other factors that require both the federal and state government.
Kabiru, I think would come back to continue this
There's so much
discussion.
to really look at
Absolutely.
in terms of finding lasting solution to the insecurity currently bedeviling the nation. But let's head for this quick break. When we return, security expert KABIRU ADAMU rejoins us to continue the conversation.
You're welcome back, and you're still watching News Night. We're live in the nation's capital, Abuja. My name is Christian Ogodo.
And I am Amaka Ude. And of course, security expert KABIRU ADAMU is still with us. And of course, we're having a conversation about the insecurity in the country and all of this, kidnappings and banditry. Thank you again, KABIRU, for joining us. And of course, let's look at the fact that, especially in northern Nigeria, the nomadic cattle herders and farmer crisis. We have seen some, solutions being, provided by the government in terms of the Ruga settlement and eventually ranching and all of that. I know that there was a committee which is headed by the vice president to find a lasting solution, but it doesn't seem to be working fast enough. In the meantime, yes, desert encroachment is a big issue, and these cattle have to be fed. In the interim, how can we, resolve these issues with the farmers and the herders and live in peace like we used to?
Amaka, this is one issue that unfortunately it has been so mired in controversy, and I worry that we are not even addressing the core issues. What we are dealing with is the politics surrounding the issue, and I say this with all sense of responsibility. Yes, there is a committee that has been set up by the presidency, but interestingly, that committee is talking about grazing reserves. It's talking about auditing the existing grazing reserves, when clearly the governors, both from the north and from the south, have come out to say that that's not what they want. They want ranching. And then if you recall, in 2018, we came out with the national transformation plan that had the Ruga policy in it. And if I'm right, certain governors backed that policy. So it appears to me that there is a lot of lack of clarity in terms of which direction we want to go. And in the middle of it is what I'll call the Fulani question. The micro, frankly, the profiling, the stigmatization of the Fulani ethnic group has reached a proportion that I'm sorry to say we're almost near the Rwanda situation at the moment. And if we do not address it, and unfortunately, that appears to be the direction that this is going to. Now, that is not in any way to suggest that there are no issues surrounding the Fulani ethnic group, and perhaps even hardened. But my point is that the way we are going about the issue, we are not addressing the core issues. And what are the core issues? Concerns by Nigerians regarding hardening, and concerns by Nigerians regarding the infiltration of foreign herders into Nigeria. Now, left to me, those are two core issues that we need to address. How do we as a country address hardening? How do we as a country address this infiltration of foreign herders into the country? Now, for the second point, the issue is around maybe the ECOWAS protocol that allows foreigners to come into the country. But then even that is not exactly correct, when clearly we've got institutions that have the mandate to man our borders and ensure that anyone coming into those borders comes in for a legal reason. So how do we strengthen those institutions to do their work? And that is why I said we're mired in the politics of the controversy and not addressing those core issues that would help us solve this major problem.
Thanks so very much, KABIRU ADAMU. I know you've got so much to say, but time, it's never on our side. KABIRU ADAMU is a security expert.